Hey guys, it's September 2nd, and I see a great opportunity forming in Civic. I've been watching it since this, huge rally right here, and I've been waiting for it to return back to the 786, and I believe it's going to happen. We just broke the 6.5, and, even though the RSI is giving me the signal to buy on the MACD, the selling volume is increasing. So that shows me that it's going to make its way down to the 786. Now, because this is a new coin, there is a possibility it's going to hit some of these previous resistance levels. So I also set some buy orders here as well. Because, as you know, when I make my trades, I don't go all in, on each position. I like to go incrementally in and incrementally out. So what I believe is going to happen could be something like this. Okay, so I'm sure it's not going to be exactly like this, but this is somewhat of a prediction that I think is going to happen. So, yeah, I'm just going to save this at this point, and then we'll check back in a few days to see the progress. Hey, what's up, guys? It is September 10th, and I'm here to do an update on my Civic trade. It looks like pretty much all of my targets were met, which is pretty awesome, I have no complaints about that at all. As you could see, it hit our level, the 786, which is where I bought, most of my portion for this trade. But like I told you, I buy it incrementally, so I also set some buy orders at these lower levels, which were previous resistance. So, of course, this first level was met. The second level was met, so we bought here. But the third level was not met. It did not go this low, but that's okay. We still made two great trades here. And as you can see, it pretty much met all my targets. It met this target, which we sold here. It met this target, we sold some here. And it touched this line exactly, which the sell order went through. So this was possibly the best trade you could possibly do. It hit the line exactly. Now, if you take a look at my drawing, my crude drawing, it didn't, go exactly how I thought it was going to go, but it still met those levels, and that's the most important thing. So let's take a look at some of these profits. So we bought down here, sold up here. Now remember, I bought incrementally, so I also, bought here and sold here. So out of this 100% profit, between selling at these different points, I probably made around 60% profit. But still, 60% profit in 5 days, that's just amazing. You can't get that anywhere else in cryptocurrency. So at this level right now, it's looking like it's going to go down. The RSI is pretty much overheated. It didn't make a new high. The volume is starting to go into the selling volume. So I'm actually just going to back out of this trade, let this chart cool down, and possibly get back in it at a later time. Okay, thanks guys. Have a good one. Hey, what's up guys? It is September 5th, and I'm looking at a coin that is starting to pique my interest, and it is KMD Komodo. Now, of course, what I do after a big run-up is I always put a fib retracement on, and I wait for it to, come down to some of the levels. Now, what I'm noticing is that I'm getting some support at some of these previous highs. That's what this dotted line is. It goes back here. Now, because it isn't going down to any of these fib retracement levels, I actually am going to do a fib extension on this chart, and I'm actually going to buy in at this level right here. Now, the 4-hour, I trade on a 4-hour chart, and it's about to end here in about 20 minutes. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and if it closes above this line, this 61.8, then I'm actually going to make a purchase here, and I'm going to make a sell order here, because from the looks of it, I'd say this chart still wants to go higher. Now I could set the level over at this 127, but I feel that's kind of pushing it. I feel like this is a more conservative trade, and that's what I like to do. So I'll check back in a little later and I'll let you know how it goes. So here's a quick recap of the trade I made in Komodo yesterday. Like I was saying, if it was going to stay above this 61.8 level in the fib extension, then I was going to make my purchase, and it did so. So I ended up purchasing right here, and I already had my sell level already set to this 76315 level. So let's go ahead and see what kind of profits I made from that. Okay, so that's a quick 19% in only 4 hours, so I have no complaints there. And as you can see, it almost automatically started going straight down. So I'm just going to wait this out, let it cool down, see what happens. Looking at the MACD, it looks like we're about to see a divergence looking into the sell volume increasing. So I'm just going to step out on this one, let it cool down a little bit. I'm still waiting to see a 78 retracement on this initial run right here. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Good evening, everyone. It is September 14th, and I'm seeing somewhat of a perfect storm forming in NAV coin, short for NAV. Now, if we take a look, I've been watching this since this huge rally. I've been waiting for a correction, and it just went through the golden zone of the second rally. So I'm really starting to pay attention now, and I put in some buy orders. I'm fairly confident it's going to get down to this green zone right here, because this is a major support level. It's right on the green money line of the second rally right here, and it's right on the 6.5 golden zone level of the rally from the highest point. So we should see a lot of support at this level. Also, you see the dotted line, this was previous resistance. So there's 3 indicators that are going to tell me that it's going to bounce off here. Actually 4. Looking at the RSI, it looks like it's oversold. So there's a very high chance it's going to go up from this point on. So what I did here is I put the majority of my buy order for this specific coin on this level right here. And then I also put more buys on these 2 lower levels just in case it breaks through, which, honestly, I highly doubt it will. Now, bouncing off this point, I see a very good chance it's going to hit this 0.5 level. So here's where I set my first sell order, with a slightly less likely chance of hitting this buy signal, but I'm still going to set one over here anyways. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to sell 75% of the portion of these coins at this level and 25% at this level if we do get the buy order placed here. So that about covers it. I'll check back in a few days to see any of these targets were met. Good morning, everyone. It is the 16th and I have an update on my NAV coin trade. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be some major support at this level here, and it looks like that's exactly where it held. Now, I did set some buy orders in at these lower levels, but I honestly didn't think it was going to hit this low anyways, so that's why I said I put the majority of my purchase here. But, sometimes the wicks can go low, so, might as well put some buy orders down there just to be on the safe side. Like I said earlier, this ended up being just a perfect storm, because if you take a look at this major support level, and if you take a look at the RSI, it hit the 30 RSI, which basically means, it's time to buy. As you can see previously, it didn't hit these levels at all. Or at least it hasn't hit it in a very long time. I'm sure it has if I look back on the chart. So looking at these bars, these are pretty straight up. I was actually expecting it to zigzag a little bit and go up. That's why you see these red bars are so, long, and they're over to the right, because I thought it was going to take a few more days to get this high. But nope, it shot right up, and that's why cryptocurrency is awesome. So let's take a look at the profit. So I bought right there. So remember, the first line was here, was where I set most of my sell at. So in 4 hours, I made 50% profit. And then I sold the remainder at this line, which is still within 4 hours. And that is 58% profit. So because I sold the majority at this line, the amount of profit I made was probably around 52 to 53%, but still within 4 hours. That's an awesome trade. I'll take that any day. So at this point, I'm going to back off. I'm just going to watch this coin. I'm going to wait for there to be a divergence in the MACD, and then possibly consider getting back in at a later time. September 21st here, and I'm seeing a great opportunity in a coin called IOP, which stands for Internet of People. As you could see previously, there's been pretty much no price movement, no big volume, and all of a sudden, where's my, 1 second, all of a sudden it goes up 921% in 2 days. For people who think Bitcoin is volatile, show them this and they'll have a heart attack. Okay, so anyways, as it was going up, I was waiting for it to, retract because I wanted to buy some. But it just kept going up, 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 and I'm not one to buy at the top, so I just waited it through. I'm seeing now there's a really big correction happening. It's being sold on the RSI. It's starting to get some sell volume finally in the MACD. A lot of things are lining up to bounce from this level right here. This is, what you're seeing here is a fib on top of a fib, so it may look a bit confusing, but this level is very important here because it's right on the money line, the green 786, and it's right in the golden zone, which is the 618 and the 65. So I believe that we're going to have some major support at this level, and if you take a look at this trend line, it lines up perfectly. So I think there's going to be a lot of support here. So I put most of my buys in at this level right here, this green box. But, just in case, like I always say, I buy in incrementally. I also set some buys at this level, which is a previous high, and then at this 786 level, with these red boxes being my sell points. So we'll just have to see, the time will tell, and I'll check back in a week with an update, and we'll see how it goes. Hey guys, it is September 30th, and I'm here to do an update on my IOP trade. Now, if you remember, I set most of my buy levels in over here because this is a level of major resistance because it was in between the 618 and the 65 of this highest wave, and it hit the 786 level on the wave without this impulse wick. So this zone was really important to me. Now, I also set some buy orders in at these lower levels, but as you could see, the price never got this low, so they were not met. But that's still fine. I still, made a great trade over here because as you can see, it pretty much went up from this point. So, looking at the blue line that I drew, the chart did not go the way I thought it was going to go. But the most important here is the algorithm targets were met, which was the 50% and the 382 level. It's really always extremely hard to draw what you think is going to happen, but when you look at these levels in the fib retracement, there's a high probability it's going to reach these algorithm levels, so that's why I set my sell points here. So what I ended up doing was splitting the amount of coins I bought here into these two sell zones. So let's take a look at the profits. So we bought in here, sold here. Sold here. So this first one was, I made 81% in 2 days. It's amazing. The second one was right here, where I made 113% in 2 days, 16 hours. So it wasn't too far apart. So in between those, I made around 100% profit, maybe a little bit less, but that's amazing. I made 100% profit in less than 3 days. Now it does look like the price did reach a little higher, but I had my levels already set. It automatically sold when it hit this level, so I can't, it's really hard to gauge the very tip top, and it's very hard to gauge the very tip bottom. So I still think these are great trades. Now, it did go down, and this also would have been a good trade. I did not take it because I personally thought it was going to go a lot lower. I thought it was going to hit the 786 level of this second wave. And it really didn't catch my eye until this candle was done, but it went up too much, and it looks a bit overbought to me. So I just wanted to back down, and I don't feel like putting another position in this coin. I'm just gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna wait to see what happens.